Every decade has its financial predators. In the 1920s, they wore suits and made promises of fortune through postage stamps. A century later, they hide behind screens, QR codes, and blockchain jargon. Whether an elegant scheme dressed in paperwork or a flashy crypto project with slick marketing, one thing remains constant: the art of deception. In this documentary, we journey from the dusty streets of 1920s Boston to the digital Wild West of modern-day crypto. We'll expose how Ponzi schemes and Bitcoin scams lure in millions, destroy lives, and continually evolve to stay ahead of regulators. This is not just a story about money. It's a story about human psychology, greed, trust, and technology. Welcome to Ponzi schemes versus Bitcoin scams. Old tricks, new tech. A Ponzi scheme is simple at its core: a fraud disguised as an investment. It pays earlier investors with the money of newer investors, creating the illusion of profit. There's no real business activity, no genuine profit generation, just a cleverly managed flow of cash. Unlike legitimate investment structures, Ponzi schemes rely entirely on trust and continuous recruitment. When that flow stops, the entire house of cards comes crashing down. The term Ponzi scheme traces back to Charles Ponzi, an Italian immigrant who arrived in the United States with dreams of fortune. In 1920, he promised investors astronomical returns through a scheme involving international postal reply coupons. The idea sounded clever: buying coupons cheaply in Europe and redeeming them for a profit in the U.S. In reality, the logistics didn't exist. But Ponzi's charisma and early payouts convinced thousands. Within months, he was making $250,000 a day, equivalent to millions in today's dollars. As his fame grew, newspapers hailed him as a financial genius. People mortgaged homes and emptied savings to invest. But by the end of that summer, the scheme unraveled, leaving thousands destitute. Ponzi was arrested, and his name would forever define a kind of fraud. Ponzi schemes, whether in the 1920s or today, share strikingly similar features: unrealistic or guaranteed returns, far above what legitimate markets offer, lack of transparency about the business model. Early investors are rewarded to build credibility and word of mouth. Recruitment is constant because the scheme survives only if new money keeps flowing. These characteristics make them seductive and dangerous. Imagine a simple scenario. Investor A puts in $10,000. Investor B comes in, and their money is used to pay A profit. A tells friends. Investors C, D, and E join. Their money pays B and part of A again. The organizer keeps a cut for themselves, while investors believe their accounts are growing. No real investment is happening. It's a cycle of redistribution, not value creation. Eventually, when new investors stop coming, or too many try to cash out at once, the illusion collapses. And like dominoes, fortunes disappear overnight. Bitcoin itself is not a scam. It's a decentralized digital currency built on blockchain technology. But its complexity, anonymity, and explosive popularity have made it the perfect stage for fraudsters. Between 2018 and 2023, global losses from crypto-related scams exceeded tens of billions of dollars. Fraudsters exploit the excitement around new technologies, convincing unsuspecting investors that they're part of the next financial revolution. Bitcoin scams come in many forms. 1. Fake investment platforms. Websites that mimic legitimate exchanges, promising guaranteed returns on deposits. They often vanish once enough funds are collected. 2. Rug pulls. Developers launch new tokens, hype them up online, and disappear after collecting millions in investment. 3. Phishing and fake wallets. Scammers trick people into revealing private keys through fake apps, airdrops, or giveaway campaigns. 4. Celebrity impersonation. Fake Elon Musk giveaways, bogus endorsements, and live stream scams remain common traps. Each plays on greed, urgency, or trust, often blending social engineering with tech. The tactics are centuries apart, but strikingly similar. Unrealistic promises, use of early proof to lure more victims, heavy reliance on personal networks or social media, exploiting trust and financial ignorance. Both feed on the oldest human instincts: the desire to get ahead quickly and the fear of missing out. The main difference lies in the tools and scale. Traditional Ponzi schemes are centralized. One operator controls everything. Bitcoin scams, however, often use decentralized networks, anonymous wallets, and borderless transfers, making them harder to track. Crypto scams can spread globally within hours and vanish just as fast. Investigators often chase ghosts. Whether old or new, these red flags remain universal. Guaranteed or suspiciously high returns. Pressure to get it now. Unverifiable business activities. Missing or vague leadership information. Lack of regulation or proper licensing. When in doubt, pause. Real investments don't rush you. Behind every scheme are real people. Retirees losing their pensions. Students losing tuition. Families losing homes. Financial scams don't just drain bank accounts. They shatter trust, families, and mental health. Globally, financial fraud drains billions annually, with victims often struggling for years to recover. Ponzi operators face severe penalties: fraud, wire fraud, securities violations. Sentences can run decades, as Bernie Madoff's 150-year prison term showed. In the crypto world, international task forces are growing. High-profile arrests, from Bitcoin promoters to OneCoin masterminds, signal a tightening net. But many scammers still evade justice due to jurisdictional loopholes. Regulators worldwide are racing to keep up. Crypto exchanges now face Know Your Customer laws, anti-money laundering frameworks, and disclosure rules. Agencies like the SEC, FCC, and Interpol are collaborating across borders. But as laws evolve, so do scams. Staying one step ahead remains a challenge. Let's look at a few cautionary tales. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, the largest ever, worth $65 billion. BitConnect, a crypto lending platform that became infamous for its pyramid structure and eventual collapse. OneCoin, a fake cryptocurrency that duped millions across 175 countries. MTFE and similar modern scams, combining crypto with MLM tactics, targeting emerging markets. The names change, the technology evolves, but the deception stays familiar. Protecting yourself starts with awareness. Research thoroughly before investing. Verify regulatory licenses and company information. Beware of hype. If everyone's promising riches, pause. Use secure wallets and enable two-factor authentication. Never invest under pressure. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Ponzi schemes and Bitcoin scams are two sides of the same coin. Old greed meeting new technology. Understanding how they work is the first line of defense. In a world where financial innovation moves faster than regulation, your knowledge is your shield. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and never stop asking the hard questions.